It's tax season, so we're taking questions about taxes and cars. We're coming to you live from the Sunroom studio today, and we're going to be taking questions from our live studio audience about cars, buying, selling, and how to put it on your taxes. So we want to make sure that if you're buying a car, you don't forget about possible tax benefits. And if you're selling your car, you check all the boxes, make sure you stay legal with the IRS. Look, buying and selling a car is so stressful already. You got to do the registration. You got to get your insurance, right? You got your monthly payments. Pay us money, just pay us money. And then at the end of the year, you got to deal with your yearly taxes. I just held up a lot of really personal documents. Please do not zoom in on this video. Do you have to report a new car on your taxes? Can you claim a loss on your old car? How do you even do taxes? It's confusing, so we took some studio questions, we checked with the IRS, and we even called in some of our favorite experts. Okay, so that's a stock photo, but we did call for backup, I promise. All right, here is everything you need to know about claiming a new car on your tax return, whether or not you got to report a car you sold, and how to get a big old tax credit for buying a new EV. Plus, you could get reimbursed for sales tax. Let's get into it. So we're gonna start with some audience questions. Who's got a question?
Ooh, me.
You in the taco hat.
Do I have to report my new car on my taxes?
That is a great question. You don't have to report that new car on your taxes, but you may want to because the IRS will let you deduct sales tax from your tax return. That's a big bonus if you live in a state that has sales tax. Your sales tax should be listed on your title and registration paperwork, so just hold on to that for tax season. And if you can't find that paperwork, the deduction truly might be worth a quick trip to the courthouse to get a new copy.
Sorry I'm late. Did I miss anything?
Yeah, we've been taking questions. Next question. Yes, you sir.
Do I have to report a car that I sold on my taxes?
Not necessarily, but if you made a profit on selling a car, so let's say you sold your car in the boom last year. Let's say you bought a Tesla for $50,000 and you sold it for $55,000. You do need to report that $5,000 profit as a capital gain. Usually used cars don't sell for more than they're bought for, so you're probably in good shape.
Yes. If I sold my car at a loss, can I deduct that from my taxes?
If you sell a personal vehicle for less than you paid for it, the IRS doesn't let you deduct that from your taxes. There are some different rules for businesses, but if you're running a business, you should probably get tax advice somewhere else. All right, next question.
What's the new EV tax credit?
So if you bought an EV or a plug-in hybrid that qualifies in 2022, you can claim that on your taxes and get up to $7,500 in rebates. Did it in 2021, and it ruled, and it worked, and it wasn't hard. Qualifying new and used EVs in 2023 will also go towards next year's taxes. So this is an ongoing tax credit. If you buy an EV this year, keep all your paperwork, file it on your 2023 taxes, you can get up to $7,500 back. What else?
Ooh.
Yes, sir, over here again.
How do I get the EV tax credit? I was gonna ask that.
So navigating the bureaucracy of the EV tax credit can seem overwhelming, right? I hate doing taxes. But with a little bit of research, the help of a good car salesman, and some patience during tax season, it's really not hard to get that tax credit. So when you fill out your taxes or you have someone do it for you, make sure that the tax filer knows that you bought that EV and make sure you have that paperwork ready to go. When I say paperwork, I just mean like receipts, just proof that you bought the car. So here's some quick requirements at a glance. There's an income cap, $300,000 for families, $150,000 for individuals. The vehicle purchase price for like cars has to be under $55,000, and for larger vehicles like vans, SUVs, trucks, it needs to be under $80,000. And then the vehicle has to have undergone final assembly in North America. Any more questions? Yeah.
Does my 2005 Norwegian Buddy EV qualify for the tax credit?
So I really doubt that your 2005 Norwegian Buddy EV is going to qualify. But the good news is, starting this year, used EVs will qualify. We love that, because that means you get to reuse inventory that's already in place. Plus, Carmigo, we like to sell used cars. That's what we do.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Am I too rich to qualify for the EV tax credit?
Well, good sir, I hate to judge a book by its cover, but based on the $100 bill that you just blew your nose into, I would say you probably are too wealthy to qualify. This tax credit is for families that make less than $300,000 a year and for individuals who make less than $150,000 a year. The used EV tax credit even has some more strict requirements on income. But, check it out. See if you can move some numbers around. You know what? Don't. I think that's fraud. Any more questions? Everybody's good? Thank you all so much for your time. So let's talk a little bit more about that used EV tax credit. We'll just run through the requirements for that real quick. You got to have income under $150,000 per household, under $75,000 if you're filing as an individual. It has to have been purchased from a dealership, so you can't buy it privately. You cannot have been the original owner. You cannot file for this if you're a dependent of someone else. The car has to be under $25,000, and it has to have a model year at least 2 years earlier than the calendar year that you purchased it in. And then also the dealership must report the sale to the IRS and to you at the time of it. So if you're buying a used EV that's on the list, make sure you tell the dealership that you intend to apply for this tax credit and that you need them to file the proper paperwork for you. But that's it. These tax credits are pretty cool. They've continued to expand since they were initially implemented a couple years back. So in mid-January, Tesla announced they were cutting over $10,000 off their Model Y price and making cuts across all models. And then the last week of January, Ford announced that they are cutting the Mustang Mach-E price pretty significantly. So, the EV market's heating up. Manufacturers are competing on price for new EV models. We're getting tax cuts for EV purchases, getting tax cuts for used EV purchases. If you've been on the fence about an EV purchase, check out the Carmigo Greenlight blog. We've got some interesting articles about the price comparison for fueling and maintaining gas cars versus electric cars. And now is a good time to buy in if you want to get some of these tax credits while making that switch. If you're looking for more on the used car market this month, head over to the Carmigo channel, check out our market report. And if you do decide to make the switch to an EV and try out those tax credits, give us a shout. Let us know how it went for you. We'd love to hear.